Hi guys, I'm Charlie, a Charlie Book Fanatic. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a Top 5 Wednesday, and Top 5 Wednesday is hosted by Thoughts on Tomes. I will link her channel as well as the Goodreads group for topics down below. The theme for today is my favorite spooky settings in books, and obviously this is because of Halloween. I'm not really a spooky book kind of person, so I don't have a lot of really spooky settings, but I am going to talk about the books that felt creepy and eerie to me. The first book is Everland by Wendy Spinale. This is a Peter Pan retelling that is set in a kind of steampunk setting. It is set in the future though. It is fantasy as well. It is set in England. A plague has ravaged the whole land. All of the adults have died, and there's Captain Hook, who is looking for the cure by hunting the children that haven't died yet, because plague infests the children slower than it did with the adults. And there is one girl who is supposed to be an immune, and Captain Hook is looking for her. But just imagine this whole ravaged land and children trying to survive on their own. The second book, or books I have to say, I'm going to be talking about is The Raven Cycle and Maggie Stiefvater. This whole series isn't necessarily scary, but it is eerie. It's kind of creepy with the whole Welsh king and all of the backgrounds all of the characters have, because they all definitely have some kind of eerie feel to them, especially Noah. I feel like Noah's story is the creepiest thing in the entire story. The third series is the Chaos Walking series by Patrick Ness, and not necessarily spooky again, but definitely a setting I wouldn't want to live in. Some things happen, like men almost get hypnotized to follow this leader that they have, and they start an army and they have to slaughter this other species that is living on this planet that they're on. And especially in the second book, it is really horrible what happens to this other species and just what these people do to each other. I feel like that is definitely kind of eerie, that humanity can turn against each other. Then definitely Illuminae by Amie, Kaufman and Kristoff. It isn't necessarily a spooky story in the beginning, but eventually you understand what Katie has to do and in what kind of situation Ezra is in, and it starts getting creepier and creepier throughout, because Katie has to do some terrifying things. Like, let's say she has to board an airship full of a sort of zombies, and they're everywhere, and she could get bitten and turn into a zombie herself, and she has to do this all on her own, and it's all very spooky and very entrancing at the same time. And the last book is Dance of Shadows by Yelena. This is a paranormal book. There are ghosts in here, and I think it is very appropriate for Halloween. I rated this book 4 stars. It was a lot different than what I imagined it would be. I thought it would be a story of a girl in a ballet school, and it is, but it's a lot more paranormal than I thought it would be, and the whole concept of the story when you have finished the book is kind of spooky if you think about it. So these were 5 books with spooky settings. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what are some of your favorite books with spooky settings. I would love to know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.